So I'm driving to school as usual. I'm sorry I'm always in the car. I was listening to some of the videos today, and I know you can hear the road noise, so I apologize for that, but it's when I have time to film. So, for now, this is what we got. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of address something that I think is, underrepresented outside of the adoption foster care community. People tend to think of doing like foster care or adopting as the backup plan. Like, oh, we couldn't get pregnant, so we're gonna adopt because we can't have biological children. And I just want to put out there that these kids are not our backup plan. They're not our consolation prize. Realistically, we're their backup plan. We're their consolation prize. Especially for kids in foster care, older kids who know their parents. I mean, when you tell a kid, you know, you're not going to be able to go home to your parents, and it's like, oh, but, you know, you get to stay here. That's kind of how it feels, in my mind. So I just wanted to put out there, like, when people adopt, or especially with older kids, like, you don't want to, especially if they're in transition, like, you don't know if they're going to go home or not. You don't want to make it sound like it's the best thing in the world that they get to stay with their foster parents, because a lot of times they want to go home. They don't want to stay with their foster parents. And it's not that they don't love their foster family, it's just they love their parents, and they care about them. In some cases, they have been the ones taking care of their parents, and so there's a concern there that, well, what if I'm not there to take care of them? And all those things are scary. And yeah, it's like, we all know as adults that that's not a child's worry, and they shouldn't have to worry about taking care of their parents, that it's the parent's job to take care of them. But when you've been born into a situation where that's what you do when you're a younger child, I would say probably between like 4 and 10, 11-ish, you have a very strong concern for your parents. I think as children get older and they realize, like, this isn't my responsibility, and they start to get resentful because they start to become teenagers, at that point they kind of realize, like, oh, this is wrong, and sometimes they'll be more willing. They'll feel like they're not betraying their parents as much. They'll be more willing to be adopted. But you have to get through that initial phase of childhood where you feel like, you know, it's your responsibility to take care of your parents. And sometimes too, like siblings. If you have a sibling set that's split up and they're not going to be able to be placed together, they're losing that family too. So I would just encourage you guys, if anybody's out there and you know people who are fostering, just don't talk about adoption with those families, especially when the children are around. If that family chooses to bring it up, then you can feel free to talk about it. But if they don't bring it up, and especially if they don't bring it up in front of the kids, I would encourage you guys not to bring that up, because it's not exactly, in the midst of losing your parents, it's not a happy thing. It's not something positive to think about. So yeah, there's also, if you are adopting from birth, there's, sorry, I'm in a tunnel. If you guys don't watch Phil and Alex, I know I've talked about their channel on here, but they do a video about their adoption of their second daughter and how difficult it was emotionally for them, as well as the birth mother. So it's not just like foster care. There are a lot of, every story is different, and there are a lot of emotions that come with adoption, and sometimes it's not always the happiest thing in the world. Usually it gets to be happy when, like, you're at court and you're actually adopting someone, then it's happy. But before then, it's just something you need to be sensitive about, in my opinion. So I just want to put that out there. If you guys have any questions about how to talk about adoption, or how to address situations like this, just let me know, and I'll try and answer those questions. Please feel free to subscribe. I have a whole 15 subscribers, so hey, growing a little bit. But if you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps it get viewed by other people who might find it useful. So yeah, bye guys.